This is Eric Ward, lead singer of what was known as Sloppy Seconds, and you're listening to Bradley's House.
Nothing is impossible, but certain things are highly improbable. Don't think I'll meet your kind again, not in this lifetime.
Hey guys, welcome back. Come on in and make yourself at home, as you should when you're a guest in Bradley's house. I am your co-host, Jarett Orr. She is the executive director of the Nowell Family Foundation, and our host, Ms. Kellie Nowell. Kellie, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing really well, Jarett, and I feel like every time you ask me that, I say I'm fabulous, I'm fantastic. I have to keep coming up with new adjectives, but I'll be honest, like sometimes I really am doing fabulous, other times I'm not, but I'm not going to tell you I'm not. Like
Right.
for this purpose, just assume I'm always fabulous. But yeah, I feel like it gets a little robotic after a while. I'm always like, I'm great, Jarett, how are you? So I'm going to have to come up with something to throw you off next time. Although now I've told you I probably won't throw you off.
Well, yeah, you're not, because I just thought to myself that I am just going to open up with a question. And our host, Ms. Kellie Nowell. Kellie, what's your favorite food?
See, that's even worse. I hate favorites, but that's a whole nother story.
All right, then, Kellie, what's your least favorite food?
The favorites.
Lots of ways we can do this. There's more than one way to
Too extreme.
Kellie.
You're too extreme. Anyway, I'm doing fabulous today, Jarett. How are you?
Super good, as always. You know, Kellie, anytime that we're recording a new episode of Bradley's House podcast, I get super excited because every episode is so unique. I don't think I've said it in a while, but I'm just super lucky to be able to be a part of this and hear all these amazing stories and then get all of the messages from people that are like, oh my God, the podcast was great, or it helps me get through my day, or whatever it might be. So I'm always pumped when we get a chance to do this, but I get even more excited for some guests than others, and especially when we have an opportunity to have a musician on that is in rotation in my Spotify playlist. I'm always excited. So, Kellie, I'm ready to get this thing rolling. Why don't you tell everybody who this week's house guest is?
Well, I have to agree with you. I get excited about our guests also. Although I will say that you get excited for the episodes, I get nervous. I get super stressed out. This is why you're so much better at this than I am. But I have been looking forward to talking with our guest today, especially because we tried a couple other times to reschedule or to get together, and we kept having to reschedule. So it's almost made it even better. There's so much anticipation. I hope we're not putting too much pressure on her. But we are super fortunate to have with us today from Artikal Sound System, Logan Rex. Logan, thank you for being with us.
Hey guys, thank you very much for having me. I've been looking forward to this, and I think you're right. All the anticipation is making it even better. So
absolutely, it's going to be phenomenal. Now you've been on the road. We were just talking right before we started about some of the crazy drives you've had. That lifestyle is definitely not as glamorous as everybody thinks it is. I mean, the thought of, I have a regular job, so I go to work in the morning and I'm there till 5, and then I come home and I do the work. So to think of someone living a life of a musician, it seems very fabulous. Like you just go and play music and party and have fun, but there's a side of it that's not as fun, correct?
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, I was just telling somebody this weekend, I was like, if I were any less enthusiastic about what the end goal is and like performing and making music, then I would never be able to do this. It's just like, so, and I think I'm also saying that I guess we're coming into August, and we've been on the road. I don't know. I think we've only been home like a month and a half total the whole year.
Wow.
So I think you're catching me at like my most tired. I really love touring, but it's a lot of rest stop bathrooms, and it's a lot of like small town America, which is pretty cool. I do like that we get to see so many places that you would never go like on purpose, maybe just like when we're en route to new places. You definitely get like familiar with the country in a way that a lot of people don't get to. But man, I mean, there's just not a lot of sleep. There's definitely a lack of privacy, and you know, it's just not always as glamorous as you might hope.
Boy, that's for sure. You know, one of my favorite artists, and we've had him on the show, I'm so happy to say, is Frank Turner. And he has a great line. I want bands who had to work for their keep, drove 1,000 miles and played a show on no sleep, sleeping on the floor at a stranger's place, hungry just to do it all again the next day. And that just came to my mind as you were talking about that. Like, you guys are paying your dues. And that's such a trite saying, but it's true. I mean, you really are, like you said, you got this goal in mind that you know is going to happen and that you have faith in, and that's got to be what keeps you going. I mean, I would imagine it's great, you know, meeting the fans and getting that feedback and stuff, but that's such a small part of the touring.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like the juice, you know, that's like the thing that makes you want to go out and do it. But then I really think, you know, first of all, there's no other way around it. I mean, I guess like there's a lot of people who are like blowing up on TikTok and have like different paths to success, but I think that the way that we're doing it right now, hopefully we're garnering like the respect of the other bands in the scene who have come up the same way. They're like, all right, like these guys are down to put in the work, and I think people see that we're hustling, and then also just really bonds you to your bandmates. I mean, to be on the same page as, in my case, like 4 other people who are all down to be like, all right, let's all be broke and like, and not have like the comforts that a lot of people our age are allowing themselves because we're chasing this thing. That's like, it's a really special thing. It always feels, there's so many moments on the road where I feel like we're in like this coming of age movie, you know, where we're like looking at each other and we're like, this is crazy, but we're doing it. So
you're living a John Hughes film.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
A good coming of age movie was John Hughes.
A little bit more vulgar, maybe, and like gross, but like, yes.
I love that. And definitely big respect for you guys and for everybody, every musician that does that. But I think you're right. People who have done it really have respect for the ones that are doing the same thing because they know what you're going through. So I think that's phenomenal. How long have you been at it? How long have you been with Artikal Sound System?
I've been with Artikal now. I think I'm coming up actually, like, I think this month will be my 5-year anniversary. So really, like, compared to a lot of bands, I haven't been doing this with the guys as long as certainly most people out there. But I've been in the band 5 years. The boys played together for a long while before I joined the picture. So they have been really tight for a while now. And it seemed like I was a good fit. So it's been a really special thing to be a part of.
Has it been hard coming into a band that was already established and people that have a history?
You know, there, like, every now and then a little snag will come, I don't even want to say like a snag, but every now and then like something will present itself where like I feel like odd man out. But I mean, I would say like 98% of the time the boys did such a great job at like always making me feel super welcome, super appreciated, and especially as like the only woman in the group, they've made me feel really comfortable and protected. So I like feel really corny talking about the boys sometimes, but I just love them so much, and they've been really, really wonderful to me. And I think it's been mutually beneficial for everyone involved. So they've never made me feel like, you know, odd man.
The new guy. Yeah.
Yeah. They've done a good job at eliminating that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're a pretty nice addition to the group. Let's be serious here. Now, I'm just throwing that out there. Like,
thanks,
you know,
Jarett.
Artikal 5 years ago was like a cheeseburger. And Logan, I love cheeseburgers. Kelly will tell you. So
I had one for dinner.
Something's like a cheeseburger. That's great. But Artikal with you is like a bacon double cheeseburger. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, so, all right. I love being the bacon
amazing.
extra patty.
Yeah, that's
cheeseburgers are amazing.
You can give, by the way.
But I'll take that bacon double cheeseburger if it's an option. So I hope they're doing their best to make you feel welcomed.
Oh, they really have. They really have. And I really appreciate that compliment. I had a cheeseburger for dinner, and I wished I had bacon on it. So I really appreciate that.
Oh, well, Logan, you are our bacon cheeseburger.
Oh, man. That's high praise, guys.
I really feel like that's a sentence I've never spoken before, but I feel really good about it. And now, are you originally from Florida?
I am. I'm originally from Florida. I grew up in Delray Beach, which is, I live like the town over now, but I've grown up here in Delray. I've moved around the country a bit, but it's a special place here. I mean, I'm right by the beach, and I have so many good family and friends around here that it always ends up sucking me right back in.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
Delray Beach, that sounds familiar. Are there a lot of recovery places in that area? I seem to recall hearing about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we are we're the number one recovery like per capita in the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh, Orange County's not going to like hearing that. I'll tell you right now.
We do have a lot here, and there are some people that would say this is number one. But when I think of areas that are really oversaturated with recovery places, and I don't mean that in a bad way, I just mean like there's a lot of them. I definitely think of Florida because I hear that so much.
No, I think it's the places where like there's who doesn't want to like heal in sunshine, you know?
Exactly. That's true. That's true. It's not a bad place to be. And then how did you get into music?
I got into music, you know, my dad was just always playing a ton of music at the house, and my mom sang. My dad played some guitar growing up. I was in like our church choir. And when I was in like high school, I made a band with my friends called Eternal Boner. And
that's a great name.
I didn't
Eternal
really
Boner?
Yes.
That's a great, you know what? Roll credits.
We call it,
this is over. You can't top that.
Can't get better. They called it Viagra for short.
Guys, thanks for tuning in. That was Logan. And that might be the greatest thing I've heard. And it's funny because I always ask people about their old band names, and nobody ever wants to give it up. They're always like, oh, yeah, I don't remember what we were. You remember what you were called.
Yeah.
So, that's the top of the list. You just made the top of the list in a 2-year podcast. Congrats.
Thank you very much. I mean, I'm really ripping down some accolades here, guys. Like the cheeseburger and like top band name. Like, come on.
You're winning. You are winning tonight.
So I joined this band with some of my guy friends, and then we kind of restarted it again, I guess like 6 or 7 years ago. We started playing under the same band name, just like doing bar gigs for like free bar tabs, you know. And then I met Fabian was one of my neighbors, and he had been like DMing me and being like, you should come play with me and the guys. Like we have this idea for like a cover of this song Crave You that we want to do like a reggae version of. And I just ignored him and dodged him every chance I got. I was just like way too nervous. I felt like Artikal was like a real band, and I was in this band called Eternal Boner. and then finally he wore me down, and it was like a really big day when I went over there. I was like, okay, I'm really proud of myself for like stepping out of my comfort zone, and I'm so glad I did, because I made just like such good friends, and obviously this is like my whole life now is like chasing the dream with Artikal. So
are we talking Crazy Gnarls Barkley or Crazy Patsy Cline?
Oh no, it's actually called Crave You, and it's by.
I thought you said Crazy. I was all excited thinking it was the Patsy Cline version.
Patsy Cline is like one of my all-time faves. Like she's like one of my
amazing
major inspirations. So I love that you said that. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I used to sing that song to my kids really loud when they were little, and they would always know it was coming because, you know, I just belt out crazy. I don't know. I grew up listening to Patsy Cline because my dad had an 8-track tape of Loretta Lynn, and it was called I Remember Patsy by Loretta Lynn. And I just remember I was little and I was so confused by all the names. I'm like, Patsy, Loretta, Lynn, like how many women are they referring to? I don't know. I didn't understand. But years ago, somebody said something to me about how there was I've seen it, but I don't remember where. There's like a clip of Brad playing on a boat in the harbor in Long Beach, and he was just playing all kinds of stuff, and he did a little bit of Crazy. And someone was like, that's so weird. Why would he do that song? And I'm like, I know why. We listened to it all the time growing up. Like
that, I would be so interested to see that clip. That would be awesome.
I'll see if I can find that for you.
Yeah, we gotta track that down.
Yeah, it was good. It just was such a sentimental thing for me. Like I loved it. But I love that you like Patsy. That makes me very happy.
Yeah.
So did you always want to do this as a career, or did you have other aspirations originally?
I just think I thought like Looking back now, I spent so much time like dancing in front of the mirror and, you know, like dancing my own reflection and like with my karaoke machine thinking I was going to be Patsy Cline one day. I really wanted to be a country singer when I was little. And then I think somewhere along the lines I kind of like, I don't know. It's just like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to just be like a housewife. I was with this guy for a long time and it wasn't like the best dynamic, the relationship. But I was like, kind of like a stay-at-home girlfriend. And I was like, okay, you know, and I kind of like was playing like sidekick to him for nearly a decade. And like, we had a lot of cool adventures together, but I think that that's kind of where I saw things going. I was like, all right, like, I guess I'm just gonna like have kids and do this and set aside like my like artistic dreams. And when I joined Artikal, I didn't know that it had any potential past like just playing around town. And it like, I feel like it colored my world in such a beautiful way that it inspired me to like get out of this situation that wasn't like, that wasn't
super healthy.
It just wasn't super healthy. So it helped me leave that. And then I feel like the second I joined the band, and it was like we all looked at each other one day and we were like, we're gonna do this. Like let's just full send. We're gonna just try and make it happen. Not to say that, you know, who knows what will happen for us, but it is really nice that we're all on the same page and we're like, you know what, like we believe in ourselves and we're never gonna turn around and say we didn't try. So
that's awesome.
I'm having a hard time with math here, guys, because Logan can't be a day over 20 and a half.
I was going to say that. I was getting to that. I'm like,
if you're
really,
20 and a
started dating
half
at
and you're
5?
living with a guy
That's
for 10,
crazy.
I don't know what's going on right now.
I've had a ton of work done. I'm actually 58. So no, I'm 32 years old.
I love that. I tell people all the time, people are like, how old are you? I'm like, I'm 62. Like, you're not 62. I'm like, I've got a son in Congress. He's representative in New Hampshire. What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh. And
that's a good shtick.
He also says that your uncle played saxophone with Rick
James.
Rick James, thank you.
Uncle
I don't know
Tim.
why I blanked on that.
Uncle
Are
Tim,
you just a huge liar? Are these just
Pretty
fun
much.
lies that you tell?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, let's unwrap this now, Logan, because what you just said is this a huge lie that you tell? No. A huge lie would be my dad was the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. That's a huge lie. People can look that up. People can look that up quick and be like, dude, you're full of shit. But if I say something simple like, oh yeah, my uncle, he played the sax in Rick James' Super Freak. And I live in Buffalo. Rick James is from Buffalo. Super Freak, the sax. Nobody knows, right? So it's like, oh, that was Jared's Uncle Tim.
Very few people are going to fact check that. Yeah, very few people would fact check that.
Who would lie about their uncle playing the sax in Super Freak? I would. But who's going to look it up? Nobody.
I am loving you more by the minute. I love this. I endorse this kind of line for the record.
It's very entertaining, if nothing else.
Yeah.
You never, ever are to let the truth get in the way of a good story.
I'm with it. I'm with you. You know, the music video for Dirty by Christina Aguilera, it's like all these sweaty people like dancing around. So Chris Cope, our keyboard player, I guess, and who knows if even this is true, his sister did the makeup or like the hair and makeup on that music video set.
Yeah, that sounds like a lie.
She did. I
think that's true, but what is definitely not true, and I want everyone to know this in case Chris Cope tries to pull the wool over their eyes, is Cope will tell everyone that he is one of the dancers in the background. And there is a guy that looks so much like him.
Oh,
and he's so sweaty and like dancing so vigorously that you can't really catch his face. And you're like, oh, that could be Cope. Yeah,
that could be him.
But when you start doing the math,
you can kind of check it, but you can't be sure.
Exactly. Like he'll pull it up on his phone and be like, check it out, that's me. And then when you start doing the math, you're like, wait, no, you were like 7 when this came out. There's no way that they would let you dance like with that much gyration you know, on national television. Yes.
Under 18, you're only allowed a certain amount of pelvic action.
Yeah, it's like 11%, and he's all the way. That guy in that music video is up at like 88% gyration.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
There's no way.
So
there's just no way.
I've got an uncle who's from Philadelphia, and he worked as a welder, and they were working on a job right on the side of 95, which is the main highway cut through Philadelphia. And he tells this story about how he was working, and he was right along 95, and there was a huge traffic jam, and there was this limousine there, and this blonde woman was staring at him the whole time. And as he, got closer to the highway, he realized that it was Madonna who was going to her show. He says, and then a month later, the song "Beautiful Stranger" comes out, and I know that she wrote that song about me standing on the side of the highway.
I call bullshit.
You're fucking right. There's no way. But what an amazing story, right?
The line runs in your family, man. This is crazy.
Yeah,
this is crazy.
Again, I don't know if we're necessarily known for truthful stories, but fuck, we're entertainers.
Yeah, I mean, I'll still hang out with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, before I forget, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jarett. I thought you were done with that.
No, please go ahead.
I've forgotten what I wanted to say 3 times and then remembered. And so I really want to say it before I forget again. But I was trying to remember the first time I heard you guys, Logan, because I remember when I heard you, I was like, who the fuck is that? And I went over, and I think it was at Arizona Roots. Did you guys play Arizona Roots?
We did,
in 2020?
Yes.
Like right before the shutdown, right? February
right
2020.
Before the shutdown. Yeah, okay. I think that was like one of the last shows we played, yeah.
It must have been on Sunday, because that was when they had like the rains that were like the worst rains in 100 years or something.
Yeah.
And so we tried to come on Saturday, but our booth was all rained out. And my dad was with us and my stepmom. And I'm like, I don't want you guys coming out in the mud. So we didn't even set up our booth that day. But on Sunday we did. And I remember we were a little bit away from the stage. And I heard this music. And I'm like, oh, shit, I got to go see who that is. And I went and I watched your set. And I came back. And I was like, Artikal sound system, they are so good. Like, I was super into it. And so that was the first time I ever heard you guys.
That's so cool. That's awesome to hear. Thank you. That was a huge show for us. We were like, when we got the call that we were on that show and Cali Roots, it was like the same day. And I went out in the parking garage of like my serving job and was just like shrieking and crying, like tears of joy. And they were like, ma'am, you have to come back and hear your tables. But that was a really cool day for us. Yeah.
I'm famous now, bitch.
Yeah, like, screw these paninis.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wait, you were working at a panini place?
Yeah. Well, just assorted sandwiches in general.
Okay. Not just paninis.
Not just paninis.
I don't know why that makes a difference, but somehow the fact that it was a panini place seems significant to me.
I feel like that's an elevated sandwich.
It really is. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're right.
But we've been having a lot of fun here with Logan from Artikal Sound System. Kelly always asks all the really fun, cool questions, and then I bring up all the stuff that people want to hear. So, Logan, just talk a little bit about. Let's just talk a little bit about Dua Lipa stealing an Artikal song.
Oh my goodness! I'm not allowed to talk about that. I'm so sorry because it's like ongoing. I'm like not allowed to say anything about it.
It is still ongoing. Okay, fair enough. I know you're not allowed.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Everybody that's listening, you just open up your Google machine, type it in, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh my gosh, I need to know about this. Yeah, I'll ask you later. Okay. Wow. Talk about a bombshell. Like
I know.
I've got nothing now. I don't even know what to say. All I want to know is about this story. But all right,
I come with the goods.
Can't talk. You
do. Integrity. I couldn't let it slide, but I had.
No, you know what? I can respect that, Jarett. I can respect that.
Oh my God.
I appreciate that. So you guys, you just got home. What's the touring schedule look like for the rest of 2022 for you guys?
So we leave in a week. We're doing our first like headlining tour on the East Coast. We start in North Carolina and kind of work our way up. And we're hitting Everwild and Chirptown Throwdown and like some cool festivals.
Yes.
I'm excited and like a little bit nervous because we just haven't headlined like ever really. So
You're
my
ready.
fingers, I have low expectations, but my fingers are crossed. I'm really excited. We're playing the shows with Dale and the Z-Dubs, a couple of them, and those guys have been really cool. It's been really nice getting to know them. We just met them at Reggae Rise Up this weekend, and he was super sweet guy. And so we have that. We're doing that for about a month, and this is where I get in trouble. Then I forget like major things, and I look back and I'm like, wow, I didn't. But then and then after that we have a tour. We're actually touring with a band outside of reggae. They're like a rock band, and they're called Highly Suspect. They've been up for like 3 Grammys.
Nice.
And I'm just really excited to see what another scene thinks of us. You know, like I feel like our scene, we're like so lucky. Everyone is so nice, like so welcoming, like so warm. Like there's such a great sense of community. And I feel like we have so much family just from like the short touring history that we have when we go to these festivals and we play these shows. So I'm excited. It'll be like a step outside our comfort zone to go. I mean, I was watching videos and there's just like mosh pits and like the guy like dyed his eyes black, and
oh shit!
I'm like,
how fun!
This will be cool. So I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Well, you guys play awesome music. You've got an incredible voice. I think it's going to work out okay for you. I don't think you got anything to worry about.
Well, and
I can't trust anything out of your mouth, Jared.
Okay, I never lie. And
all right, Logan, you're fucked. Don't do this tour. Back out. It's not too late.
Well, what you have to know, too, is that in the music industry, anytime you're asked to do something, it's because you've earned the right to be there.
Thank you. That is,
so you guys are doing something right, for sure.
That brings me some peace. Thank you. No, I'm excited. Good. I'm just, it gives me some good butterflies. It's good. Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, what are some of the pitfalls of touring or the music industry that you've either experienced or observed or, have heard about?
I think some of the pitfalls, I think it's really difficult to maintain. Like this year with so much time on the road, I'm realizing how much like I'm letting my social life when I'm at home like kind of fall to the wayside, You just miss out on so much. You miss weddings, you miss birthdays and funerals and baby showers.
Oh my God, I'm getting into the music business.
So you don't have to go to any of those anymore.
I know, and like even if just asked me like a year ago if I would have, I mean, not to sound like callous, but I was like, oh no, why would I care? Like if I get to go out and do the thing,
right?
But it starts adding up, and I like have been feeling farther away from some of my friends at home and my family. Yeah. So I'm just, and all of that takes is a pivot of my attention. So I'm like just trying to spend. When I'm home, I'm like always so tired. I don't make the effort to go and meet up with friends or catch up with people or make those phone calls. But now I'm just like, okay, you know what? Like I really need to rally so that I can like keep that ball in the air better. So that's kind of one of them. Definitely like when I'm home, I feel like I eat really well. I'm on a great like sleep schedule. I don't really like drink so much when I'm home. But when you're out on the road, I mean like the sleep is like, priority 0. And it's more difficult to eat the way I want to, and certainly you're in an environment where like everyone is drinking.
Damn, Logan was a lot of fun to have on the podcast. I knew she would be. I didn't think it was going to be that much fun, and I just once again want to reiterate, eternal boner.
She was delightful. I'm not going to lie. That was really, really fun. I wasn't sure what to expect. I never really know what to expect, but I figured it would be a nice interview. It was really fun, really, really fun. So I just like to throw out there that anytime Logan wants to come back on the show, she's super welcome. She was great.
I hate the rules of society because everybody knows you never ask a woman her age. But going into this, I was just so positive that she was like 22 and a half years old. And then she was like 10-year relationship, 5 years in the band. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on right now? Something does
Math does not work.
does not add up. So
Yeah.
whatever she's doing, she's doing it right.
Yeah.
And make sure you guys check out Artikal Sound System. Just an
Yes.
awesome band doing some awesome things. And I know they've got some upcoming dates. So check them out. If they're in your area, go see them. You will not be sorry.
Absolutely. And, we were talking about this earlier. I saw them at Arizona Roots. And as soon as I heard them, I'm like, ooh, what is that? I've got to go check them out. It's so seldom that you hear something really new and fresh. And I remember that feeling a couple years ago of hearing that, but I just never really did like a deep dive into their music. And I have since then, and I really, really enjoy their stuff. And I think they're great, not just live, but I think they really have, they have a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out. They have a really great sound. And I do believe that they're going to go far. I think you were right in saying, let's get her on now before they get too big, because I do see big things for them. And, great band, super talented musicians. And she's just so sweet. It's so great in this industry when you meet somebody that turns out to be as lovely as you would want them to be. And Logan definitely is that. So that was really fun for me to get to know her.
Yeah, they're out there putting the work in. So it was really cool to have them on the podcast. So again, like I said, if they're in your area, make sure you check them out. If you are in the Southern California area, on August 20th, the Nowell Family Foundation has another throwdown going on. It's happening at Sea Legs in Huntington Beach. Of course, we're going to have Jakob be out there. He's going to be singing some songs. We're going to have burritos. Fayuka's going to be out there. You never know who's going to be at a Nowell Family Foundation event. I've spoken to so many different people that are like, hey, I might be able to come through. You think I can get a song in? You're damn right you can.
Come on down.
Yeah, so there's no telling what you get, and it's just going to be an awesome time. It's right on the beach. All of the Sea Legs is making a donation to the Nowell Family Foundation to have us out there that day. But for you, if you want to come out and hang out and enjoy the music and enjoy the beach, Kelly, what's the cost again for people to get in?
It's free, 100% free. And of course, we have our good friend Mike Dangerously, who's going to be coming and performing too. He's played at a couple of our benefit shows before years ago. We are super stoked to have him again. It's going to be a great lineup. We've got a DJ that's going to be there the first hour. We've got Jakob, Mike, Fayuka, burritos. It really is going to be a lot of fun. And as you mentioned, we do have some special guests. I'm super tempted to start throwing out some names, but I'm not going to because, I feel like we need to just keep that under wraps, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And I hope people come out and join us. We're going to be there all day from 2 to 10. So come on out. We'll have our merch booth there. Come say hi to Brindy, who's our amazing director of events. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it. It should be just absolutely beautiful on the beach that day.
Super excited. I love Mike Dangerously. What an awesome guy and a great musician. Although every time I'm with him and we're standing there talking, I find my hand just starts to rise, and then he just says, "Do not touch my mustache," and I just have to put it back down. But
he has an epic mustache.
Yeah,
I
just want to grab the little curl, but limitations, I guess. You know.
Yeah, you have to do it. We also have some fun stuff that we're going to be doing a silent auction with as well. Our good friend DJ Product, who has DJ'd at a bunch of our events. We absolutely love him. Anytime we're able to get him at an event, we feel super fortunate because he is great at what he does. He's also an incredibly talented artist. And we have auctioned off one of his paintings before. As soon as we auctioned off the last one, he went ahead and created another one. It's hanging up at my dad's house right now. We're going to have that on August 20th. We'll be doing a silent auction for that. We have a Sublime skateboard we'll be doing a silent auction for. We have
Logan's phone number.
not Logan's phone number. We have a good friend Anna who's a photographer. She's done a mental health series, and she's going to be auctioning off her addiction photo, and that's going to be really intense and incredible. And then, of course, we have another painting by our good friend David Marple that we're going to be auctioning off to benefit Kaya from Sensi Trails. So lots of good things happening. If you are anywhere in the Southern California area on Saturday, August 20th from 2 to 10, come on down to Sea Legs in Huntington Beach. It's going to be a great time, and the show is free.
Super, super excited about it. So much big stuff going on. I'm very pumped up. The Sea Legs, I got a busy schedule here. Sea Legs on the 20th. Fayuca is playing with Spray Allen on the 22nd at the Melt Lounge in Arizona. Eric Wilson's actually going to be out there, meet and greets. So I think I might try to make it out to Arizona for that. I don't know. It's
a great idea. Say hi to Eric
know.
for us. It was nice to Spray Allen to play at one of our benefit shows in February. It was so good to see Eric again. So yeah, he's got some good stuff happening with Spray Allen. I'm excited that they're still pushing forward with that, and you should definitely head out to Arizona for that.
That new Spray Allen album that they just released is really awesome. So I know we've had Eric on. We're working on getting Lanner and Eric Sherman to come on as well and talk about it, because it's a pretty cool album. So it's really neat to see Eric. I mean, he played that show for us at Alex's, and you could just see him having fun playing music.
Yeah, he was.
Eric was singing.
He was. That was crazy. I remember you telling me Eric is in there singing. I went running in like, what? Eric sings? I've known him for I don't know, maybe almost 40 years. I didn't know he could sing. That's great.
He was in there singing. So so super, super excited. Lots of good stuff going on. Guys, make sure you are following the Nowell Family Foundation. We're on all forms of social media. Anna's always nice enough to put a link tree right in the description of this show. So you can just scroll down, click on that. It'll get you to all things Nowell Family Foundation. You guys can find out how you can pick up a shirt, a hat. All of the merch goes directly towards getting Bradley's house open. We've always got socks. We've got some of the house that Bradley built, compilation albums, and of course,
we have the coffee. Don't forget the coffee.
I was just about to ask you. I didn't want to say the coffee because I didn't know if we still had any left or not. So
we do have a few more. I do need to reach out to Kevin and get some more fresh roasted coffee for the 20th, but I know when this comes out, I believe today is the day that we will be debuting the promo video for the Bradley's House Coffee that our good friend Kevin Shin at North County Roastery made. But I'm super excited. I just sent that to you earlier today. I don't know if you had a chance to take a look at it, but it's really cool.
It's so awesome.
Such a good job. Oh, good, you saw it. So yeah, we're gonna be debuting that today, the same day that this podcast comes out, I believe. Although that's completely up to Jen Armstrong, our amazingly, fabulously wonderful social media director. One of these days, we need to come up with something really fabulous to do for her, because she's one of those people that reached out to me and said, hey, I don't know if you need help with this, but this is what I do, and I'd love to do it for you. She was doing social media for a bunch of different bands, and so she started doing our social media, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago? I don't even know now. But it was life-changing for me, Jarett. It was completely life-changing because I'm not a real big social media sharer. So when I had to deal with our social media, there was very little content. And as soon as she took over, we started having all this fabulous content, all these engagements. Everybody's so excited to be able to stay up to date on everything that's going on with the foundation. And it is all about Jen Armstrong. She is brilliant. So anyway,
she does an amazing job.
Yes, we need to come up with something special we can do for her, by the way.
And she is also the manager, agent, bandsman, and everything for the awesome band Autic Empire,
who we love.
We've had some
Good
members
friends
on this podcast, and they've got some shows coming up around the Texas area.
Yes.
They've got an awesome new single out with Devin the Dude and Afro Man called Gas. So guys, it's important that we all support each other. So,
Yes.
when we talk about our sponsors or we talk about friends of the podcast and bands and different acts that are associated with them, it's important that you guys support the people that support us, and we can all do it together. So definitely check them out as well. So Kelly, everybody knows the deal. Each week when you leave Bradley's house, we throw you out, but you get to leave to a song. I believe this song was actually written about me during a no. What is everybody going to be hearing on their way out this afternoon?
They're going to hear a very enjoyable song by Artikal Sound System called "You're an Asshole."
Well written. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, I'm Jarett, or she is Kelly Nowell. You don't have to go home, but it's time to leave Bradley's house.
You're an asshole. I mean it in the nicest way possible. I know you think it's cute, but you're impossible. You sent my heart and soul to the hospital, where I said, Doc, do you think I'll ever get it back? The twinkle in my eye, I lost, my heart feels black. I need it stitched up stat. Well, you can fuck right off, you can get right out, you can kiss my ass with your lying mouth. Don't you even try to act like you don't know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm keeping the dog, you can take the truck, take whatever you want, I don't give a fuck. Pack your bags and don't look back, I'm drawing the line. I hope wherever you end up it rains all the time. 'Cause you're an asshole, I mean it in the nicest way possible. I know you think it's cute, but you're impossible. You sent my heart and soul to the hospital. Did I give my best years to a man who left me in tears? Is this real or just fear? Man, I gotta get out of here. Go out and find someone new to play with, someone young and dumb for you to stay with. I'm hip to your games, I'm too old for this shit. I'm tired, I'm out, it's over, I quit. Or did the door hit you on the way out? Maybe now you'll finally get what I've been talking about. It's too late for sorry, no, you never change. Leopard spots just don't rearrange. You're an asshole, I mean it in the nicest way possible. I know you think it's cute, but you're impossible. You sent my heart and soul to the hospital. I guess that maybe lately what's been scaring me is thinking in the end there's no repairing me. I realize the problem is you, not me, and this is the way you'll always be. You're an asshole, I mean it in the nicest way possible. I know you think it's cute, but you're impossible. You sent my heart and soul to the hospital.